So here on round 4, we're going to fight about the top selling games of all time. We actually did this, started this last time, and we went through 20 through 16, and we found this off of a website, and we just kind of go through with them and talking about them. It's very interesting, kind of which games are on the list, the difference between like one to another. Like, for example, this is something we should have talked about, we kind of missed on, but for example, number 18 was Connect 4 at 4 million copies. And then number 17 is Mancala with 18 million copies. So it was a huge jump. Also difference in time of 1400 BC and 1974.
Yes, 1974.
Also a large jump there. So
a little bit.
Old man games win.
Yes.
Anyways, we're just going to start talking about these here. So we got an exciting one here to kick off that everyone knows is Risk. So Strategio was at number 16. It had 20 million copies. Now Risk jumps it up by 5 million to 25 million copies. I would actually, a detail here that we just weren't able to find out, but I'd be interested to find out, is it just the pure Risk? Does that include Godstorm, 2210, Castle Risk, Risk Legacy, and all that stuff? Probably not, but it would be interesting to see what would the total numbers be if they threw those in as well. So what's your guys' thoughts on Risk and being here at number 15?
I played it a lot as a kid. I don't know about you guys, but it's one that took too long. But I will say I played it later in life, and I realized it didn't take as long as when I was a kid. Because I think as kids we were just stupid and we were like, whatever, we're just going to play it. So I don't think it's as bad of as a game as most people give it credit for. But I have a really good Risk Legacy story that is tangentially related, and that is when Risk Legacy came out, people were excited about it. They're like, yeah, let's do this. And my friend was like, I don't want to play it. It's still Risk. And they're like, oh, come on, it's the new hotness. It's a revolutionary mechanic. You have to try it. So he's like, okay, I'll play it. And he literally had 11 guys to 1, and he lost all 11 guys. You could have said, you could say, why didn't he stop? And we asked him the same thing. And he said, because Risk is dumb and I shouldn't have to. And he just went and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and lost the game. And he goes, it's still Risk. This game is rubbish.
Wow. See, we grew up playing Risk, and actually my dad, this is before I was old enough to play games, he thought Risk had too much luck in it, and so he made his own version of Risk and made all his pieces and everything. And so I never got to play that game. It was already gone by the time I came around. But we played regular Risk, and actually as a single man, we played it a lot in our apartment. Like I had the deluxe Risk with the metal guys and everything, and we played this a lot. I would still play it now. Risk is a fun game, and it's not just the game, it's what you make it, as Andy likes to say, with the table talk and with the deals you make and with the backstabbing. And it's like, well, yeah, I have a deal with this guy, but now he's going to be able to circle around and get me right in my weak side. I know he's going to do it no matter what he's told me. So there's those things that happen. There's no hard feelings. You're trying to win the game. You know, you're going to have to backstab somebody at some point. You know, it's power through strength, man. It's like the nuclear deterrent. If you don't have strength, nobody's going to care to make it a deal with you. So, and of course, having Australia is always a big thing early. And then, there's always all the little things, that you're trying to fight over early, but Risk is a quality game. I still like it. I would still play it today if anybody would play it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has its flaws and stuff like that, like OG Risk, but I really like Risk 2210. Like, it adds some additional depth and some additional details. You have like leaders of the different mechanics of the game, best way to describe it, and they don't even use a D6, they use a D8. So like you actually there is some additional mechanical differences, and then there's the moon, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there's some additional stuff that like actually makes it a really good game, and it's turn-based. There's only 5 turns. It's not just everyone's wiped out. So like there's a clock, so to speak, and that really works. And then Risk Legacy, I still that was a game when it came out. I still feel the same way. I would love to play a campaign of that every year for the rest of my life. Like just every year buy a new box and play through it, because I think it's super cool. And of all the Legacy games, the only one that I've seen do this was the original, which was Risk Legacy. So on that one, it was the first time they'd ever done a Legacy game, right? So it was a little less elegant than some of the newer ones, and they were just trying to figure out how to make the game work and all that stuff. So like nowadays, the boxes and the packages you open are like, the advent calendar type things and stuff like that. And it's really elegant. This one, they just like stickered like packages of cards like inside the box and stuff like that. And so, but again, at the time I was like, this is cool and interesting. Well, all that's leading to you see all these ones on that are obvious when you open the box, but if you actually pull up the bottom liner of the box, there's an additional one down there, and all the ones on the box are like after someone's won 3 games, after someone's lost 2 games. The one on the bottom under the liner says "Open Never," and I never have.
Oh my god!
I never will, except for my deathbed.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna do it when you're not looking when I'm at your house.
Anyways, one more thing on Risk, Andy.
Does Andy have any
thank
thoughts?
you for letting me get a word in, John.
Oh, please.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Andy never talks over anybody.
Never. I played Risk a lot in college. That's kind of when it had its heyday with me, and I enjoyed it. I will say it led to some arguments at times. There was some bickering. There was negotiation. It was fun if you went into it like that. It could last a little bit too long sometimes, but really, in hindsight, looking back on it, there were some good times. It was fine for what it was at the time. Really, I feel like it was decided pretty quickly, though. Whoever got Australia wins.
Not necessarily.
I don't know if that's always the case, but it sure seemed like it was the case more often than not. And then, it was fine. It was an okay game. I will tell you that I played once. Probably the last time I played in a serious manner, I played with some friends, and Jessica played with me, my wife, and it actually led to some marital strife because she had the chance to either take me out or this other guy, and I was like, how many dice would she was like, I have to attack you for this. And I was like, okay, well, how many dice would you like, my peach? And I was trying to butter her up, and she just plowed right over me, just destroyed me. And I was pissed. So
gosh. One more thing. I know we're kind of beating it in the horse. One more thing that we used to do, I don't know if anybody else played this way, was we roll the dice in the box top, and the defender would be on one side, the attacker on the other, and you throw them together at each other. If any dice came out, that was considered a loss. So it was, so if you're a defender, both your dice come out, you lose 2, baby. It doesn't matter what rolled up. So
that's actually
dexterity to it.
Fun battle. It turns into a dexterity game then.
Exactly.
Well.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. I like that. All right. Well, then the next one is a game that should be number 1. And if it's not number 1, at least in your hearts, then get out of here. Don't come back. Don't unsubscribe. All those things.
No. Chris is wrong.
And this game is Settlers of Catan. Number 14 came out in 1995. I was playing it in 96 because I'm cool like that. And this one has sold 32 million copies. Again, based on as much as we can understand from the data, it probably is just the base game, not including expansions and all the different stuff. But still, 32 million copies. That's pretty. That's kind of a give ourselves a hand, everybody. We took this game that kind of started this community and industry and everything like that from 95, and 20 years later, or wait, that's more than that. 20,
sure,
25,
35. 25.
Yeah, whatever, somewhere like that. Math is hard, people. And it is 32 million copies. That's pretty great. I mean, it's outsold Risk, right? Yeah. Just that alone is kind of surprising. Crazy. With how big of a deal Risk is in our culture, the fact that it's outsold it, that's pretty awesome. So Chris, I love Catan. I still do. I actually recently have been inspired to try to make Catan work better in this day and age, and I've come up with some house rules that I really want to try to make it work better, but I haven't had a chance to get it to the table yet. But Catan's an absolute love of mine. I have a special box that I bought for it that has a very Jumanji feel. By the way, so much about my existence in board games is because of Catan, and the fact that Jumanji came out a few years before it. But the fact that the pieces were wood and not plastic like all the other games at the time. The fact that you had these cardboard little tiles saying longest road and the biggest army and all the different stuff, and the cards and everything about the art that people say it's bad, but I thought it was endearing to me because it felt old and stuff, and like Jumanji or something like that I have this whole box for it and stuff like that. So I love the game. I always will. It has its flaws, but I'm trying to fix those. And when I do that, I'll let you all know. So.
Yeah, real quick, Catan has a special place in my heart as well. I played a lot of it, not as early as you, Chris. I didn't get into it till 2005, probably, or something like that. But Played it a lot. It also led to a lot of arguments. It is a negotiation game, which I am notoriously a negotiator, but also can be a troll. And so because of that, it has led to some interesting times. I do enjoy it. I honestly, it probably got ruined a little bit for me when I started playing online because you could play it so much faster. Like so many games, and I kind of got addicted to doing that. And then I just finally was like, one day I was just like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done with Catan. I will say I did have a cool thing happen though, and that was I was working. This was like in 2010. I worked at a small radio network called Bot Radio Network, and a bunch of us in the break room were all fans of board games, and we made our own version, or maybe I guess they made their own version and invited me into it, of Settlers of Catan that was totally different, and it was interesting because it included things like battle boats, and these boats you instead of having the main island, you made it into separate islands, and you could like go around and move these boats and like blow up cities. It kind of combined a little bit of Risk with Catan. I actually still have the rules for that, and I have a special board that I made just for this purpose, and special pieces. These special pieces are things like paper clips, but I have them all in a box still. I would love to play it with you guys someday. It's called Battle Boats of Catan. Anyway, that's my Catan story.
If you want to give me nightmares, tell me two things. I have Catan, but it's not Catan. It's Risk. Okay. Tell me that you don't have good taste in games without telling me you don't have good taste in games. Wow. No, I was hoping I don't like the game. It's boring to me. I played a 6-player game of it. I was done after 10 minutes because I got cut off. No one told me not to build where I did, and I was like, this is stupid. So I had to sit there for 2 hours doing nothing. But I really thought Chris was going to be like, it came out in 95, but I played it in 94.
Yes.
I'm old man Chris. So that's all I got.
Oh. Okay. Well, nope. Just be quiet, Andy. It's my turn. Okay. So Catan, my sister got me into Catan as my first hobby game, probably early 2000s, whatever. And kind of a funny thing is then she texts me over there to, shows me how they play and everything. She has all these house rules that she plays with the game that I didn't know were house rules. And they play so nice. And I'm like, Catan is a take that game if you want it to be. As we're going to talk about take that games another episode or two. And I don't know about you guys, but it's like I'm there with I can build a road and a settlement, or I can build 2 roads and they will never be able to build off of that road. They're going to have to build that way. I'm doing that. I'm building 2 roads here. Why would you do that? Because of the game. I don't want you to win. I can still come over here and build. You can't stop me, but now you can't do that. And I don't know if I have never had the courage to do this. I don't think in person, but online, like Andy, you're talking about playing online. Oh, if you have the Monopoly card, you just throw out some ridiculous trade there because you're not sure if there's any ore out there. Say, hey, I'll give you 2 roads for 1 ore. Oh, I'll do it. Never mind. Give me all your ore. Everybody give me all your ore. So, I think I've tried that a couple times in person. That gets people mad. But hey, don't tell me you're going to trade with me then. Maybe I have the Monopoly card. So
I wish I had a Mandalorian helmet because this is the way.
This is the way. Okay.
It is pure evil, but it is the way.
Yes. I mean, so I think Catan's a great game. Like I say, I still play it today. Not very often, but it does come out sometimes. And Daniel's a nebbish that he doesn't like it. There's something wrong with him.
Now, I will say, Daniel, you gave an example of playing a 6-player game.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's your problem.
Yeah, the big board is terrible. Don't play the big board.
It's my problem that I played the game. Got it.
No, don't play the big board. You can't judge it on the big board. That's
Catan,
terrible.
you have to play Catan Catan
3 to 4.
You have to play it at, ideally, I think it is a 3-player game. I think it excels at 3. I think 4 on the small board is too much. I think 5 on the big board can be okay, but really I feel like it excels at 3.
That's what most people think, but I'd rather have a clustered 4 than play on the big board though. It's like, no, I don't need a 5th or 6th player. Let's just play on the small board. It's so much better.
My experimental rules that I want to test out are specifically to make it work with like 4 on the small board or 6 on the big board. Like it's actually on purpose to try to fix that problem. And I think it's going to make a difference. I think it's going to be great.
I will say that I also got a bad taste in my mouth from Catan because when I started playing with certain people, they were really, really strict with rules. This is where I first heard the term "laid it, played it." Which meant if you put the cards down to build something, or you build something, you're like, oh wait, no, I don't want to do this. Like, nope, It's too late. You already built it. Nope. You've passed the dice. Nope. And they were super strict about that stuff. And I don't know.
Daniel wouldn't like that.
Yeah, no, don't be that guy. I would be like, all right, I'm out, not playing. See you guys.
I'm not playing with you guys. See you later. Yeah, exactly. All right, and thanks, guys. So yeah, we talked about just the 2 today, Risk and Katan, even though last time we got through 5. But I think we'll just kind of cut it there, and we'll pick up 13 next time, because it really was worth taking the time to kind of dig deep into Risk and Katan, being that they're such influential games in our community. So
I know
but
Daniel
looking forward
appreciate it.
to number 13 next time.
Thank you for watching this clip from Around the Board. If you'd like to watch the full episode, please click on the link down below. Around the Board is essentially a game show featuring 4 board game enthusiasts that discuss board game topics and news in a competitive format. Whoever wins gets to talk about whatever he wants at the end of the show. So please join us, won't you, Around the Board.